What is good, Tesla family? It's Ray J back with another video, and in this video, we're going to be talking about the one and only Tesla stock and some very important things that you need to be paying attention to for next week, guys. This is a very important video. I'm going to do some in-depth technical analysis. I'm going to talk some about like what the Fed is doing, what's going on with Tesla's earnings, and some very important things we got to be looking at. Now, before I say anything about Tesla, I do have to mention some very important things first. First off, I'm not a financial planner, guys. This is all for educational purposes only. And also, if you guys can, please smash the like button if you want to see more videos like this. It not only benefits me, but benefits the entire Tesla community as a whole. And the last thing is, if you guys can, please check out the Moomoo link down below and in the description. If you do sign up for Moomoo and deposit $100, you will not only qualify for up to 5 free stocks, each with up to $3,500, but you're also going to qualify for free real-time level 2 data for US stocks with $0 in trading commissions. So with that out of the way, guys, so this is Tesla's share price, guys. We talked about a previous video about how Tesla was dropping quite a bit. If I bring up the 3-month chart, you guys can see this right here. If you look at the comparison of the moving averages with how Tesla has been moving, we did dip quite significantly over the last couple of days. Now, something very important now is the fact that because Tesla dipped as low as $940 a share, which way is it going to go from here? Because we have big things coming out from, the Fed meeting to Tesla's earnings report. So there are some bearish or like potentially bearish things that could come out, and also some very bullish things. Now, the S&P, I predict it has some bearish momentum with it, right? We already dipped below a lot of the most significant moving averages, and that in turn means the S&P could also cause many other big stocks to drop down. Now, I'm not saying the S&P is going to cause the market to like crash, but it's just an indicator of that, right? It's an indicator of how markets tend to move, because positive beta stocks, and Tesla tends to be more of a positive beta stock. It tends to be maybe not exactly like the market, but if the market tanks, Tesla can tank with it. That's just, natural. It happens to a lot of stocks. But here's the thing about Tesla, guys. Over the short term, we are looking at some bearish momentum forming because the Fed could be announcing some very big things involving the interest rates or their new policies, or something that, in my opinion, it's more likely that's going to be more bearish than bullish. Now, I can't guarantee that. We could have a big bounce if it's not as bad as people think, but it could really go either way. But remember, guys, the very strong level of resistance is $1,000. We also have resistance at 1,050, 1,100, 1,173 would be resistance, and the 1,200 range, right? We have a lot of resistance at those levels. So I'm going to bring this up for you guys and do something very, very cool. These are two different formations I think that are going to form for Tesla, at least going forward. So we see this head and shoulder that's forming, right over here. Let me move this one actually. Let's move that aside and let's look at Tesla from this perspective. Now, I drew out key levels of resistance, these blue lines, and then this yellow line is the all-time high. But let's not worry about the all-time high just yet. Let me put these next to each other. Okay, you guys could see right over here, we had this run up. You could argue that this is the first shoulder right here, where my cursor is. We drop down to a very key level. Then we run up. Right here, this is the head. Where this white line is, this is the head. Then we drop down, and we dip down pretty hard, and it seems very probable we could dip once again pretty hard, as low as $900 if the market causes that to happen, right? That could end up happening. But then we have this big bounce after, and I predict, and this is what I think is going to happen, and this is not some kind of like, how should I say, conspiracy theory channel. It's just me making a prediction. And I could be totally wrong. I admit my mistakes, guys. I've been wrong plenty of times. I admit it. But the thing is, I can't predict what the Fed is going to say or what they're going to do. So what I think is going to play out is we're going to have to form a run up. That's the head. The dip we saw like right here. This dip right here is right before the shoulder forms, so it's very, very similar. This next run up right here is the shoulder at that $1,100 level of resistance, or within that range. Then we dip a little bit, and we might dip a little bit hard, which is what we're seeing right now. We're starting to see the drop right here. It's almost forming that distribution. So then right here, this dip is right here. We have one more shoulder that's probably going to form. Right, it's following this pretty well. We're probably going to see another shoulder, and this shoulder is most likely going to run to the 1,100, or it could go anywhere, guys. It could go as high as 1,200, and that's probably where Tesla is going to end up running to after the earnings report comes out. I'm not guaranteeing that. I do predict there's going to be a run up. I don't know exactly where, because sometimes these formations could be like this. So if I zoom in, the resistance is at 1,000. Resistance is at 1,100. Those are all possibilities that could still follow this pattern. So we could run maybe to 1,100 after the earnings, or we could go to 1,200, which is more probable in my opinion, because look at what analysts are saying. According to Investopedia, analysts issue bullish notes ahead of Tesla's earnings call. The earnings call is going to be on Wednesday after the Fed's meeting, and I think that's going to be pretty awesome. So what else I want to talk about is this right here. So we know that this pattern is probably going to form. I don't know exactly to how high we're going to run to. That really depends on what comes out during the earnings report. But let's move this aside. Let's totally move that aside. And now let's go. Where did I put that? This picture right here. Let me. What's? Hold on. Give me one sec. What the heck happened? Okay. Hold on. There it is. I basically lost this picture for a second. I got kind of confused. So over the long term, now this is kind of like the opposite, but you could argue that we might see a move kind of like this going forward because this could be a more bullish scenario. So this could be like the one. This is just another perspective. I know it's not going to be accurate. This drop right here could be another head. This run up right here could be the two. This could be the right shoulder, and this could actually, it's possible for Tesla to continue with a bullish run after, right? This is a more bullish scenario that I'm going to show you guys because I can't just show you bearish scenarios. I also have to show you guys bullish scenarios. So this could be a more bullish scenario, even though it's a little bit less likely that this will play out because the market does not look very bullish. It looks more bearish. And it does look like it's probably going to keep Tesla down for the next couple of weeks. We could have one run up to like 1,200 because of earnings. And after that, we could end up dipping after. But what I want to tell you guys is there's also the possibility with Tesla because Tesla is a very capricious stock. You can't always predict it. That's why I'm giving you guys both perspectives. We have this run up, right? We have the one maybe like right here, I would say. Maybe we dip. This is the head after the left shoulder was forming. We run up. This is the two. Then we have a right shoulder right here. Then we run up again. And then after that, it's a possibility, although unlikely, it is possible we continue to run up after that and we go to all-time highs again and we keep on running for 2022. Why am I saying that's possible? Because the thing about Tesla is the fundamentals are still getting better. And during a crash, it's also possible we could see massive buying. So what I'm saying is a lot of people will be hoarding Tesla stock and their fundamentals are getting better as they're going to be doubling their production. They're going to be improving in terms of new products coming out. There's going to be a new product roadmap. Crazy things are coming. So don't necessarily sit on the stock and wait on it. It is still possible for us to have a very good and bullish 2022, even if the market is crazy. Although I do find it a little bit unlikely for us to run like this, it's possible. And I just want to put it out there for you guys because with this stock, you never know what it's going to do. This stock is doing really well. It's dipping with the market. I don't know how the market's going to really cause Tesla to dip or how hard it may, which is why you have to be prepared for either scenario. You have to be prepared for a distribution like this, where we could end up dipping a little bit more and continuing to dip into like the middle of this year with the overall market before we gain support and start running up. Or we could just see a formation like this. Either one of them are most likely possible. And it's so hard for me to make the call because, like I told you guys, Tesla's been dipping, but the fundamentals are there. And you could easily argue that Tesla should really run this year. So that's what I have for this one. I'm giving you guys two scenarios. And it's still possible for us to run really hard this year. We could still run to thousands of dollars a share this year. We could still run to like 13, 14, 1500. Some people are speculating we could even go to 2000 by the end of the year. I mean, that seems pretty tricky, but it's possible, right? It still is possible with Tesla. You never know, guys. Their fundamentals are there. They're doing really well. And we just don't know how high this thing could really go. Because at the end of the day, guys, I'm still very bullish. No matter what happens, I'm going to be bullish on this thing forever. Going forward, I'm going to be very, very bullish eventually. It may dip for a few weeks. It may be trading sideways for a month. but I know eventually it's going to break all-time highs again. So that's what I have for this one, guys. I hope it maybe opened your eyes and helped you see things with a different perspective. I hope I provided value in your guys' life. I just hope that you enjoy the weekend and just don't worry too much about the charts right now. Just be mindful and be prepared for anything. We could see some dips because of the earnings report. I'm sorry, not the earnings report, the Fed meeting, and we could see a rip because of the earnings report. Either way, any scenario is possible. It is still possible for Tesla to break $2,000 even this year. As crazy as that may sound, it is possible. That's what I have for this one, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Tesla to the moon, and peace out.